NBC's coverage of the Tropicana 400 is brought to you by Tropicana Pure Premium. Satisfy a deeper thirst. By Viagra. Ask your doctor if Viagra is right for you. By Applebee's Neighborhood Grill and Bar. Eating good in the neighborhood. Applebee's. And by Budweiser. With the crisp, clean, refreshing taste you'll find in no other beer. This Bud's for you.
Sam, are you coming right off the break with the Bud? Welcome back to the Chicagoland Speedway as we're a couple of pace laps away from the start of today's Tropicana 400.
Starting on the pole position is
Budweiser, the official beer of NASCAR, is proud to sponsor the Bud Pole Award given to the fastest qualifier at each Winston Cup race, Todd Bodine. Scoring the Bud Pole on Friday afternoon. Since 1979, Anheuser-Busch has awarded more than $7 million as the title sponsor of NASCAR's Pole Award program. And let's take a look at the Walmart starting grid. It is Bodine with his teammate, Jimmy Spencer. On the front row for Travis Carter Racing. First Bud Pole as a team owner. The two Kmart cars to lead the field of the green. Ricky Rudd steadily gaining on the point leaders in the championship. Will start in row 2 along with perennial favorite Bill Elliott.
On the inside of row 3, Joe Nemechek. Nemechek, first top 5 qualifying of the year. Kevin Harvick won at Atlanta back in March on a mile-and-a-half racetrack. Mike Skinner, Jerry Nadeau in row 4.
In row 5, you got Brett Bodine. Had a great top 10 finish last week at Daytona. Team is pumped up with another great qualifying run. Row 6, Dale Jarrett. He runs very strong in these mile-and-a-half racetracks, winning in Texas in April.
Row 7, Andy Houston had a good run going at Daytona last week till he cut a tire and hit the wall. Robert Presley there alongside with him. Jason Leffler was the top finishing rookie in the Pepsi 400 last week, and Ron Hornaday ran yesterday's Busch race and finished 16th.
Casey Atwood inside row 9, another rookie alongside veteran Mark Martin. Back in row 10, on the inside, Kevin LePage and Elliott Sadler on the outside.
In row 11, Rusty Wallace has got 5 top 5 finishes in the 8 inaugural races since 1988. And John Andretti is looking for his 3rd top 10 finish this year.
Stacey Compton and Ward Burton, couple of dodges in row 13. Ward had kind of a rough final practice yesterday, hoping the changes they made to the car this morning have helped things. And look at this all-star row. 14, Tony Stewart and Jeff Gordon. Gordon will not be back there for long.
Jeff Green on the inside of row 15 announced yesterday he'll be in Winston Cup with this car next year. Steve Park. Car is very good in practice on the outside. A rookie Kurt Busch alongside his teammate Jeff Burton in 16.
And now a look at the rest of the starting field for today's Tropicana 400 and drivers who took provisionals to get in. From Matt Kenseth on down, Dale Earnhardt Jr., the final to qualify on his time trial speed. Michael Waltrip finished 2nd at Daytona, got to come from deep in the field. He's also struggled in practice here this week. Robbie Gordon replacing Mike Wallace in Jim Smith's Ford. And the final starter, Buckshot Jones in the Petty Enterprises 44. 4 drivers failed to qualify. Kyle Petty, Mike Bliss, Shauna Robinson, and Dave Marcus not in the field. And with that, we're set to go with the Tropicana 400. 1.5 miles this track, 267 laps the distance to make up 400 miles. Sold out crowd of 75,000 been packing into this speedway since dawn this morning, and they're all on their feet now for the inaugural NASCAR Winston Cup Series green flag as we're set to go, bringing the field down to the green, Todd Bodine and Jimmy Spencer. Trouble, Andy Houston doesn't go in the middle of the field. Everybody avoids him. Andy Houston has turned his car off the racetrack at pit exit. He'll be okay. Will stay under green. Todd Bodine will lead lap 1.
Not sure Andy probably broke something when that green flag dropped, Benny. I don't know, probably something in the driveline, transmission. Something happened right there when the green flag dropped.
And Jimmy Spencer started outside pole. The best he could do was 4 spot, get him back to the inside. He's about to lose that to Mike Skinner off turn 2.
Also behind him, Sterling Marlin going by Bill Elliott to pick up 6th spot. As the field comes off of turn number 4, they'll cross the start-finish line and begin lap number 3.
Already as they swing down the line, top of the line.
Skinner now having cleared Spencer into 4th. He's got about a second to make up.
A 33 car, I don't know what happened on the start there. He started up front and he fell way back.
Joe Nemechek back to 28th position. He started in 5th. Ken Schrader's lost a number of spots. Bobby Labonte had a close call in turn 1 a lap ago. Got up out of that groove. Managed to hold on to the race car, but he lost a few positions. There's Ken Schrader. Schrader's back to 17th spot. He started 12th. Andy Houston had problems on the start. Marty, what happened?
Well, the car just did not go, Alan. They brought it behind the wall. When the crewman looked underneath it, he said the drive shaft is gone. They should be able to fix that, but he's going to be a long time behind the wall.
There's Houston.
We saw that yesterday in the NASCAR Busch Series race. Kevin Harvick made a pit stop when he let the jack down, his signal to go. He let the clutch out and snapped the pinion in the rear of the car.
Awful odd to have that happen right on the initial start, though.
The drive line in these cars are getting so much horsepower in these cars today that the drive lines are becoming very suspect. Talking about drive shafts and rear gearing.
Rudd starting to put a little pressure on Todd Bodine for the lead. This is back for 5th position. Check that 7th spot as the lead changes hands.
Ricky Rudd goes to that top spot. I talked to his crew chief, Michael McSwain, this morning. I said, "Are you any good?" And he just didn't say a word, just gave me that grin and nodded his head. Affirmative. Yes, we're good.
Harvick by Bodine for 2nd.
If you remember Ricky's car at Pocono, Benny, the car was very good on the bottom. They worked on getting that car to stay down on the bottom of the racetrack. It's so important here at this racetrack in Chicago. The best car is going to be the car that can keep their car the white line all the way through the corner, especially getting off.
Right where the 29 car is. Look at that. Left side just on the white line, and Todd Bodine's car drifted up off turn 2, and that is not the fast way around the Chicagoland Speedway.
Ricky Rudd coming into this race 3rd in the championship, and under the Winston Cup point system, he's just collected 5 bonus points toward that championship for leading. Let's check back with Rusty Wallace. Wallace trying to pick his way up through the field. He's
Rusty's car yesterday in happy hour, and the thing that impressed me with Rusty's car is that it ran consistent on long runs. Talked to Rob Pemberton this morning. They're starting very low on pressures, more than most of these guys. And he said, you know, it's going to take some laps for our car to come in, but we feel we can run consistent laps longer than a lot of the other cars. So I see Rusty being a factor before this is over.
Rusty running right behind Jason Leffler in the 01 car, the rookie driver.
A couple of rookies. That's Casey Atwood, the red number 19 car. This is down the back stretch. We won't call it a straight back straight because it isn't straight.
One of the unique features of this Chicagoland track, it's a constant arc all the way down the back stretch. Theory being, should they add seats back there, it'll make for better viewing lines. If you sit behind these heavy safety fences like that, if it's not curved, the grandstand, you don't see the racetrack because the fence just kind of becomes a mesh as you look down it.
See Jason Leffler, as he came off the corner, drift up off turn 2. This is shots from our helicopter.
And that's just going to get worse. As the fuel burns off on these cars and the tires heat up, that push will get worse and worse.
Andy Petrie, the owner of Joe Nemechek's car, looking on, as is a capacity crowd. We're just underway in the Tropicana 400.